This is Kiss My Badge for the fans, by the fans, covering the most watched league in the world. And shout out to our content partner, Match DFS. So, since we have Chelsea fans with us today, Khairul and Imran, let's talk a bit about Chelsea. Guys, you want to introduce yourselves? Maybe starting, we start with Khairul since you're holding the mic already. When you first start supporting Chelsea?
I started sometime 93-94. I think there was an FA Cup game that we lost against Man U. I think 4-0. Yeah, that final. So that started an interest. But when Ruud Gullit finally, when he came to Chelsea, that was a turning point. I said, this is a club that I wanted to support.
Okay.
Likewise lah. I mean, I think people of our age who supported Chelsea will link ourselves to that period, 93, 94, when Hoddle was in and brought the best footballer, Ruud Gullit lah. Yeah, one of the trio, orange trio to Stamford Bridge. So we thought the other two might come, but of course, you know what happened to Van Basten at 28 years old. Rijkaard won't join that time.
There was I think I still remember. Ruud Gullit was perhaps one of the, like our age lah. He was like one of the most exciting player to have graced football.
Yes.
And to come to Chelsea, right? I mean, not saying really Chelsea. We don't even remember any history before that. But having Gullit
fair enough. We accept that.
Having Gullit
You also cannot remember, don't worry.
But seriously, having Gullit play for you guys is like, this is like one history already.
Yeah,
it's like one point in the history book. Like Ruud Gullit played for Chelsea. So it's like, wow, interesting. So we started taking notice in terms of Chelsea. And then they had other players joining in like Zola, Vialli, all these.
Di Matteo, Desai.
We also had the footballer of the year, George Weah, join us, Kasiragi.
Yeah.
Who scored one goal, then after that.
So we had a lot of these players.
Retired players like that time.
You guys like China League already lah. But I mean seriously
MLS.
speaking. But seriously speaking, it's like for us, these are the names of players where we revere last time when we were young, right?
Yeah.
And to see them play in like one place, so cool it's very cool.
Yeah, I think because of them also the other players are they come to other clubs, you know, like Ravanelli, you know, like Di Canio. See all Italians coming in. So.
Yes. Khairul, you mentioned before that you are more of a Mourinho fan than being a Chelsea fan.
At this
is
point.
It true?
At
this point.
Yeah.
So basically, Chelsea is the first BPL team that you really supported.
Yes.
So at the time lah.
I think what happened was after the second sacking, because the second appointment of the second coming of Mourinho, it was a promise by the club that there will be a long-term plan. They will give him the opportunity, and you know, for us fans who were fans before Roman, it was a painful time. Right, maybe something like what Man U is facing now. Yeah, and we didn't win against Arsenal for years until Mourinho came. So he gave us the light. See, so we started to really love him. And then when he got sacked, you know, we weren't happy. Then there was such changes. So when the second coming came, you know, we thought, okay, this is going to be positive. It's going to be some stability in terms of management. At least we know he's going to be there for some time, and we started to love him already. So when he was sacked the second time after 2.5 years, and I thought, okay, I'm not going to be so vested into the club as I have been in the last 20 years. It's tiring, right? It takes you on a roller coaster ride. Yeah, I mean, there was this game when I think I was there. I was at Stamford Bridge. I think against Watford.
Oh wow!
After Mourinho's sacking, so really I was there, and I didn't feel the excitement of the years before. Watching the game live at Stamford Bridge. So I felt that for me, I have lost a bit of love for the club.
It's not because it's like Man City Stadium lah, like half fill only.
No, it's full.
Because it's full.
It's full.
But it's just that
it's full, 40,000.
I mean now it's
no, the atmosphere is still good, but inside here.
So personally, you don't feel it.
It was a
because-
Boxing Day 2014 or 15, I think, that year.
Boxing Day.
Yeah. So we had a draw 2-2 against Watford.
Is it because like you change managers so many times that you see that the team doesn't have any like example one clear cut one example is this team. Manchester United.
Yeah.
Because I say Manchester
So
United.
I collectively
No.
represent
Example lah.
Thanks, man.
So basically, Sir Alex Ferguson, he really changed the league.
Yeah.
He monopolized the league totally.
Yeah.
Right in the 90s,
Yes.
they are the
It's him,
team
yeah.
is to beat, right?
Yeah.
Because he has been with the team for many years. You can see the way they play and all that changes is attributed to one person.
Yeah.
But like Chelsea example, is the team which is completely opposite. So many managers, and sometimes there's a different style of play. Even Mourinho also, I think I remember last time he was like more attacking. Then suddenly he changed.
Very counter-attacking.
Now it's
Chelsea.
counter-attacking. So it's like, I mean, for you, is it because of that particular reason? Like so many managers, maybe.
I mean, there will be a group of fans who would say Roman is a benefactor of Chelsea, right? And then another group would say Jose brought a lot of joy to So I fall into the Jose group, not the Roman group.
Okay,
So the
I
Roman
see.
group will definitely still love what the money is bringing to the club. But for me, I feel that and maybe a bit of culmination of everything. You grow a bit older. You have a bit of you have lesser time and more things to focus on. So you think okay, let's fight the battles lah. Let's stop loving Chelsea as much.
For me, I still love Chelsea, and I still love Mo. I think he's still the best manager around. If not the best right now lah in the Premier League. I mean, no disrespect to Bielsa or all that lah, but have more, closer to Mo because of what he did for Chelsea lah. Because of that, I got no hard feelings that he left or what, because it's part of the game right now. It's all more commercial, right? So if you don't get the results, or the result doesn't go to your stakeholders, happiness, you're out. So for us, it's very tiring as a fan. Very, very tiring, because you think we are building something, especially like the latest was Conte time. You think it will be the next 3-4 years we're gonna be the top 3 contender for the EPL and maybe win one more Champions League. But then you see what happened to him after. We got the 2 year each with the manager lah every time.
But the consolation is titles are being won. That's the consolation.
So
That's
you guys are still winning.
Man U now.
It's the frustrating part.
Nothing is won, but changes are there, no stability.
We
That-
still
that-
have
that's
won,
it,
but it's not. Sorry, I need to select that. So in between, it's still won Europa, FA Cup, but not significant. But let's move on.
Because the feel is not there lah. I mean you win something, but the closeness to the team.
No,
to
I
the club.
still have
The satisfaction is not there.
I still have those feelings as well, but it's just tiring.
Maybe for me,
It's just tiring. You just sap your energy, all that lah. You think that you're onto something good. Like now, when we said the thing is superb on paper, but if it doesn't happen, then you say tiring, man. You gotta start again, build again, and then maybe new manager come in, then
Okay, new manager coming in, Lampard. That's who we want to talk about now. Let's start with since you're already on the mic, Imran. Is he a long-term manager to you? Is he a true manager, or let's say, is he a true manager for Chelsea?
he's not a proven manager for me. Whether he go for the long term, again, I will say no. Judging by the last 20 years, you see no manager lasts more than 2 years, 3 years. So he's on the second year. So he need to get some results at least before he leave or us to leave. I think when we had the transfer ban and Sari was sacked, I don't think any good managers will want to come when we tell them you got to work with youth, you got no transfer, and we expect you to be top 4. So of course somebody who's up and coming will say, okay, I got nothing to lose, right? So let's risk it, get Jody Morris who work with the academy players, who know better about these players, right? Let's get him on my team, then we do take it from there lah. So, and you see that we got 4th last year. So which is okay. And then we got final of the FA Cup.
He's an old boy, right? So basically he's
Both of them lah. Both of them
yeah,
is the same around.
yeah. In terms of like Lampard being the manager, Jody Morris was they are the old boys. So basically they have that for what we were saying, they have that maybe Chelsea mentality, or the way how Chelsea is supposed to play, or the way how Chelsea is supposed to be a club, supposed to be like that in their hearts.
Yeah, I think he understands the winning mentality. He understands the Chelsea's culture.
Chelsea's culture, yeah.
So that helps in the first phase. I would call last year is the first phase, bringing up loanees, the young people up to ranks. Then the second phase right now is building the next generation of footballers, getting the best, exciting new players. So you got the Kais, you got the Timos, Pulisic, Ziyech is 27 already. So you got all those players and Mount complementing. So you see that we have a plan ahead. Whether that plan will go ahead or not depend on the results ultimately lah for Chelsea.
Okay, Kai, let me ask you this. Last season, right? Since, because they had a 1-year ban, there's no transfer guarantee. So a lot of Chelsea fans, or a lot of them, like online and all that, they were saying that okay, this is the way to go. Have youth coming out, since we're not spending anything. Our youths are there. Let's use the youth, and they are although they are not consistent. I think last season, or the way we observed, but they were playing very, very stoically. They were actually judging everything, and got fourth finally. So to us, right, it was a fair result, especially because you guys didn't spend anything, and most of the players that are playing is youth. Straight away after that, they spent 400 million on 200 million
was spent on the defense.
Okay, 200 million on new players, right? Is it because there was just the youth is just a smoke screen? So by right, actually, this is the real Chelsea culture, to just
showing true colours.
Okay, I think a few parts to this. At the end of the day, football is fluid. You have to work within constraints, right? There's no guarantees in football. You work as such. So there were constraints last year, right? So we had to Chelsea had to work around it, right? And all along there has never been an inkling that Chelsea is going to be like an Arsenal who doesn't spend money, and then we want to be there. We have never. Chelsea has never gone out to be there. Exactly. Chelsea have never gone out to be a team that says that we're not going to sign player, right? So, but at the same time, Chelsea has always been getting the best 17, 16, 17, 18-year-old players. So that's why in terms of loan, they have the best loanees out around the world, right? So at the end of the day, the luxury of money has allowed them to buy the best, decent, good world-class players, but at the same time to get the best youngest players and then do business there, right? At the end, to break into the first team is a cutthroat business. So if you have it, you do it. So it's the nature is as such. So whether the hundreds of players get on to become first 11 is up to them, because nobody's going to give you this on the pedestal and just right, because this is not the philosophy of the club. So, and in that sense, I could understand, and there's nothing that I'm not that happy about, because this is the reality of football. So I feel that last year was just based on constraints. And Lampard is there, even though I think Lampard doesn't have enough mileage as a manager. I think he has to be given some sort of time for this. At least at the end of this season, if he's doing respectable, then he should continue in the third year.
Still, at the start of the season, with 4 games in, it doesn't look so good, but it doesn't look so bad also. It's because right now a lot of teams are still trying to gain or trying to get that consistency in their players lah.
I think one of the reasons is because of the short pre-season, right? And then the short buying time. So the league will stabilize, I think, sometime after the 10th game. Then you will see, who will break away and who will be doing very well week in, week out. And then it will be very clear. The quality will be there. Because right now, I think the teams that don't change as much and with lesser problems are actually the ones that can push at these first 10 games. But after that, then it'll be a different thing.
Is it tiring like to have like a lot of change of players like every season? New manager is one thing, and then perhaps like example Eden Hazard, he was carrying the team like two seasons ago. 2 seasons he was carrying the team because Chelsea was not performing very well. I would say so. He's probably the only player who actually played well, and he carried the team all the way. Then they sold him because Real Madrid was knocking. Were you like disappointed, or do you think Chelsea should keep him, and then with the current crop of players perhaps could be better? Or
no, because players come and go, right? So they also have their own aspirations. So we understand, we respect that also. So also he has done a lot for the club. Yeah, post UCL when we won 2013 and 2014 came, he did well, carry the club whenever we need him. So and also commercially it's a good time to sell. If we keep him too long, maybe we won't get 150 million. You know, and the 200 million transfer won't happen. So things happen for a reason. So and also I think we are good in that sense lah. Chelsea is a good business entity. They know when is a good time to strike, when is a good time to sell.
who is your top 3 favorite players so far?
Last 5 years, 10 years.
Maybe okay. Let's give it since you
I
first
start.
starting.
Okay.
Yeah, since you first start sporting.
In no order lah. In no order. But
And how long have they been in the? How long are they in the team? Let's say example. I will try to Google what you're saying.
okay, so number 1 is of course the number 26 lah. John Terry, captain, leader, legend.
John Terry don't need to Google. Okay, then never mind.
So when you Google, you find out more things.
You know,
Bridging the bridge.
Icelandic.
Apparently, the
Bridge over trouble waters.
John cannot keep his little John.
Terry, yeah.
What gigs?
that one another drama, bro. Another drama.
Yeah, okay, so John Terry.
We have kids watching, so guys,
Yeah.
that one you Google yourself, parental control, please. So,
Yeah. Then of course Ruhuli.
Google.
Yeah, the one that started it all. Then of course it's a tie between Drogba and Czech.
Drogba.
Drogba, because I think he's one of the. I mean, we have a lot of leaders and legends back then. We had the Drogbas, we had the Lampards, the Cavallos, the Terrys, Lampard, Dennis Wise. Then also even Balak,
yeah.
Balak is also one of the underrated one. Yeah, so yeah, those top 3. I mean, I would like to put the whole players there lah. I mean, whoever contributed to Chelsea, they are my best players lah because they choose us. 3 more.
3 more, Okay.
I already take the easy one.
Yeah, you take the easy one.
Because Gullit, I think even if you're not Chelsea fan, those who are like you say that you are Holland, you started because you're a Holland
also.
fan. So you can see that you since Gullit went to Chelsea, you started supporting Chelsea.
Yeah.
So other than Gullit, which is clear cut answer, who else?
I think Zola was very interesting. Zola was
About 25.
Yeah, 25. He was. I mean, he was in the era where Bergkamp was there, Cantona was there, overlap with Cantona.
And nobody hated Zola. You know,
Nobody-
Zola was a
yeah,
likable
definitely.
player.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You can't hit him. He
you
looks
can't
like
hit
that.
Yeah. Chelsea got a lot of likable players actually. Kante, so
But you had his wife also.
and they have to short, cute smile only. That's it.
Yeah, you had Zola was very. I mean, his football and his personality is fantastic. I like Robben. Arjen Robben was very, very interesting for us, very exciting for us. Yeah, I think his system, him and Duff created that Chelsea winning team.
Yeah.
I like Leboeuf. Yeah, Leboeuf was like this cool centre back.
He's the semi-hip. Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
and probably the.
And I think Desai and Leboeuf had a big influence on Terry and made him one of the reasons why he's a good player. As how he's because LeBeouf, Terry took over LeBeouf.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the way they played, it rubs off onto
Not
Terry.
really in terms.
Or-
Maybe Terry was a combination of both Desai and LeBeouf.
Yeah.
LeBeouf was a cool ball playing, a lesser version of Blanc.
More Ferdinand.
Yeah. And then Desai was this, chesting the rock advertisement, that kind of. Yeah, so
He was really the rock.
he was the rock. Yeah, so maybe these three.
My favorite player in most team, right? From most team would be Essien.
Yeah.
I love
Marcel
Essien.
Essien. He was injury prone.
He's like,
Yeah.
but I mean, I think the first few seasons he was injury prone, but as he got to I think the mid career,
he was amazing. I mean,
he's-
him and Makalele in midfield
Oh my
was
god!
amazing.
And I guess he's the definition of a midfield general.
Yeah,
I mean, really,
correct.
he was-
And with a pleasant personality, you
Yeah.
can be like that and a Gattuso.
Yeah.
but you
Yeah,
are
yeah.
like that, and you sleep 16 hours a day. That's
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
He said he sleeps 16 hours a day.
He like his sleep, man.
Yeah. And I couldn't forget the goal that he scored against Arsenal.
Oh, the long shot.
Yeah, that's
Here's Lampard. Comes out to Essien!
Oh my goodness. What an unbelievable strike.
Unstoppable. And they're not finished there, not over celebrating this. They've got one, they want two, there's 6 minutes left.
Well, let me tell you, Arsene Wenger's furious. They think there's a free kick, and when Ashley Cole wins the ball, he's absolutely livid. Look at this. Admire a strike of unbelievable quality.
Yeah, I mean, right now because of the Roman takeover, right? You were saying that he paid only £1 to who? What?
Ken Bates,
Ken
yeah.
Bates, right? To take over the team, to become the owner, and he had deep pockets, of course, and then it became a culture where no manager stayed for very long. You could easily buy players, even though a lot of the teams, even you're not in the Champions League or you are a Champions League or you are not winning the league itself, you still have the funds to bring in
and
players.
you could say that Roman actually revolutionized world football.
Yes.
Because by him doing that, everybody started to do this.
Yes.
And still, I think Chelsea is still the leading club doing what they're doing after a major buyout.
Roman was the catalyst because previously most clubs were public owned or fans owned, or even the community, right? If it's like the team based in Newcastle owns it collectively. So but he came in, he's a catalyst and he opened doors for millionaires with deep pocket, and him with one of the deepest pockets in the world, he just paved the world and said, hey guys, this is going to be my side project because I cannot sleep, something like that. Like, this is going to be my hobby. And honestly, growing up at that time, I really hated Chelsea because, like, that's the thing, right? They were the real,
Baller.
and then after that,
Yes.
it was taken over by Man City.
Yeah.
So for a number of years, they were the team. They're just gonna splash money, and then until we saw the likes of Man City and PSG. Yeah. I mean, it opened doors for United to be even bought. I mean, it became a discussion. Previously, again, United was
we know where this is heading.
a fan,
Right,
and a local board governing the club, and then eventually, some Americans came, and not the best of Americans, obviously.
We also experience the same thing.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, because it does revolutionize football in a way, and I think this is the modern way, right? It started from 2002, and that is where really from that year onwards, a lot of clubs were trying to get investors in and all that, trying to get maybe owners. Man City strike oil, literally struck oil with that. But to me, sometimes it just spoils a bit of that, a bit of their.
That's why it should
football
not be
culture.
part of modern football.
Who, me?
As in this kind of ownership.
I mean, it could be. It's just that FFP, what the right? We got a financial fair play in control, but it seems that the line or the ceiling is not
I
there.
guess it's financial fair play because you have all the money, so that's fair play. Hey, you got
Fair play to
financial
you,
fair play.
you can spend.
Fair play to you, you buy.
Yeah, right. Fair play to you, you can buy, you
Yeah,
buy
you
lah.
buy lah.
But that's the thing, because a lot of clubs, especially those that are from the bottom tier or the lower tier, like League One or Championship, they want to go up, but they don't have this kind of funds, and there is no fair play there. It just makes it even harder for these teams to compete against the clubs who are already on top. Yeah.
You look at not only the football clubs lah, but also any entity, business entity. In order to be the best, you got to attract the best talent, and to attract the best talent, you have to have the best money lah, right? Of course, the lower team, sorry to them, but they got to find an avenue to match the top players lah, or the top clubs. Right, so will it go? No, I don't think so, because sports have become so commercialized. If not, who's going to pay for the stadium maintenance, all that? Your jersey and your attendance. Now no attendance. So, see, to attract the best players to the league, also you need money also. So I don't think it can be ever stopped lah.
I think it's also a natural survival. Where the clubs are now, the clubs that are already at the top and getting foreign investor money, they are there because they are supposed to be there. Because the nature of the city, the nature of the facilities, the nature of the culture, because you can't have a small town with an investor coming in. There will be some right. So you will have these clubs with massive population who will get all these investors, and so it's to me it's just a natural survival.
It's a natural form. Even we don't start on 2003, in 2010 probably it will be.
Yeah, because if you look at the clubs now, I think 3/4 of the clubs have been around at the top flight since 20-30 years ago. So it's a natural survival state now. That's what I feel. But again, you are compromised in terms of club culture. Maybe when you have history, a bit of history.
I mean, you just look at English Premier League, right? At one point, it was dominated by just the European players, and then of course predominantly English players, and then eventually now you see all sorts of players end up in EPL. It's like an international league. It's no longer.
But it's still more exciting than, say, for example, the German league. Right. For example, German league has ownership still onto their fans. Right, fans still hold the ownership. There is no buyout from a foreign club unless you're Leipzig and a few others. Right, but then you see, it's always Bayern. It's always Bayern. So So I think no, it's not. It doesn't make for an exciting league. Money makes the leagues better.